Still at Chateau Vincennes. 12:15 now, 15 minutes later. Waiting on Joanne. I think she's in there in the gift shop kind of thing. Aquile Charles sank. And I was always confused about the word Aquile. And hopefully I'm saying that right. Could be Aquile, I think. Essentially that means welcome. Welcome Charles V. And so just standing out here waiting, but show you what it's like a little bit on the inner courtyard. And I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, this is the height of the summer tourist season. This is a Saturday. It's midday. And you could almost hear a pin drop. So, just interesting. Yeah, this was built by St. Louis in the 13th century and demolished in 1658. That's basically what I get out of that. Hopefully I haven't lost her. She has some euros, so I guess she can find her way home if she gets lost. But I think I was going to tell you about the keeps, and this isn't really representative. In a way, it's representative only in its design. And they say that this is the only one left in France, which really kind of surprises me. But you can see the little arrow slits. Maybe I don't know how the exposure and everything's going on here. But it was really evident in Ireland when we went over there. In the old days, you know, 1,000 years or so ago, money was represented by a couple things. Of course, land, but the other thing was cattle, and you were constantly being preyed upon by the folks around you, whomever. And so what people would do is they would build a tower. Here they call them keeps, and I forget what they were in Ireland. But in the bottom level you would keep your livestock, and further on up and you'd have your ovens and your bakeries and the places where you cooked in lower levels, and the place where you actually resided might be a little bit higher up and so on. But at the end of every day, you would pull the cattle and your belongings behind the wall, and typically you'd have some kind of a wall, and you'd pull everything back to the keep. And again, sorry, forget what they called it back in Ireland and so on. But I mean, it was wide open. It was wild, wild west. And so every day, you had to protect whatever you had. And so I would guess this is somewhat designed along the same kind of grounds. But it was different times. And I used to know why it was, I mean, vertical is one thing, but why it was built narrow, square, in this shape, and such, can't quite remember. I would guess it was cost effective to go vertical and so on. But that's the way it was. You couldn't just leave your possessions out there because they'd be gone. And so I guess this is pretty much along the same lines. Joanne's coming. She got some postcards or something, and we're going to go over and see what's going on here. But I mean, you know, in all the years we've been coming here, I mean, places like this would be absolutely mobbed. So it might be a good time to travel. And we'll move on.